While modeling real life data, I encountered some challenges. In between them were that the data points are not really precise. So I had to get used to some of the errors it has. No, it's not exactly. And also due to the function not being really exponential, having a few downs and ups depending on the days, it was hard to do the model, but as I got used to the tool, I was able to do it. My classmates helped me in a few steps. In the beginning, I didn't really understand the instructions or where to begin, and a few of my classmates pointed me to the right directions and showed me some tips where to start. And also, I helped some classmates to do the data points in the Excel because they were really confused on how to copy it, paste it, how to do the dates, the day. So I helped them with that and copying into the Desmos calculator. I believe that working with teammates is really important because they have different points of view. You are able to see perhaps an exercise and say, that's easy. You have to do this. And perhaps somebody else can say, no, that I can get really tricked by the question, like overthink it, think of ways to do it that are not really efficient. And of course, it can happen to you. You are the one that gets confused and doesn't know what to do. And that different point of view can really help in those situations. Of course, you can get wrong answers, and a friend of yours can help you answer them real quickly. As in my case, I was confused, and a friend pointed me in the right direction so I could start doing the homework. What tool did I use to model real life data? Personally, I use Desmos. It's just really efficient when coming to graphics. When using graphs, it's just personal preference. Of course, there are others that are really useful, but that's my favorite. And it has some tools like regression or some other things like you can change variables that really helped me personally. I used a little bit of regression to point me in the right direction, so I could do the best model that could have been done. When working with real life data, it's not like you can do like you will get the perfect answer. You have to be real careful with those data points because sometimes you'll get you'll get a really close exponential, but due to different variables, like perhaps the government made an issue, made an announcement that you should use the mask, that really lower the disease the diseases the viruses contagiousness. So it would probably go like this, and you have to manage with that type of error in your models and use the best you use the best your criteria to say, is this acceptable or not. You have to see whether this is exponential, this is quadratic, this is cubic. In this case, of course, it was exponential, but if you got to enough data points, you will get into a point where it would go down. So it could perhaps be the best described into a quadratic. And that's not because it couldn't have gotten to the maximum of population or got to the maximum, because of the vaccine that really stopped it, that made it basically another disease, another cough. So you have to say, okay, this is exponential until this point, and let's graph it there. And you have to accept that perhaps some points will be like really wobbly, and you'll have to say, okay, in this part it's okay, and I will accept it, even if it goes way under our model or it goes way over. So that's really how you have to manage real points, because life is not perfect. It's not a perfect calculation, although we can get really, really close to it as long as we try hard enough and take into considerations many of the of the variables that they may appear. How does my model compare to one made by AI? I asked an AI to make a model. It was a real pain to do it. It really got confused in many parts of the process. It really asked me to more information. After I gave it a lot of prompts, it gave me finally a regression, but its exponential regression was awful. And by the 300, I had to give it like 100, 300 data points, and it estimated that by the 1000th day it would only start really increasing exponentially. Like, for example, in the 100th day there were a few thousand cases in my model and in the real life scenario, but the AI estimated that there will be 1 or 2 cases. It really shined when predicting the first like 10 days because they were really low, but after that it really way under, and then just skyrocketed, not even close to the data. So I think AI is not that reliable when coming to complex math like this. We should not really have it like our first companion or first help with this, because it really doesn't understand what it's doing just yet. Perhaps in a few years time or decades it will be able to solve these kind of problems, but right now its accuracy is horrible, and it's way better and faster to do it yourself and with better precision, of course. So in conclusion, AI models are not that good. You should not use them in complex math. Perhaps in sums, deviations, but they are, in that cases, you can do it yourself. Perhaps in complicated divisions or multiplications, it can go useful. Or if you don't understand a problem, it will help you, perhaps give you an idea of what you have to do. But when getting into the complex scenarios, you should not have it as your first reference, all of this is the way I did my project. So thank you for listening and have a nice day.